Hello Superset maniacs and welcome back to my channel. Romania Muscle Fest happens this weekend. I'm from Romania, but unfortunately for personal reasons I won't be there this year. However, I'll make sure to bring you all the updates on this channel throughout the show. This seems to be the list for open bodybuilding, and while all competitors deserve a mention, in this video I want to actually focus on the main two favorites going into the show, Rafael Brandao and Akim Williams, which, in my opinion, has become one of the hottest rivalries in bodybuilding today. At the 2024 Mr. Olympia, Rafael finished 8th while Akim took 10th. But what's interesting is that with the Olympia being a 2-day show, Rafael actually finished 7th in Friday prejudging and Akim finished 12th. However, in Saturday finals, Akim came back strong and took 8th place, beating Rafael, who took 9th place on Saturday. So for all of you who say Akim lost both at the Arnold and at the Olympia against Rafael, that's true. But note that Akim actually beat Rafael on Mr. Olympia Saturday. In theory, he can do it again in Romania, which makes this show pretty interesting. In this video, we're going to compare Rafael Brandao and Akim Williams. To spice things up, I'm going to use their better versions from the Olympia. Rafael's prejudging version and Akim's finals version when he beat Rafael. The front double biceps is a great pose for both. For Rafael, he's one of those bodybuilders who look good in all poses, but at the same time, he doesn't have a freak factor in any pose either. For example, in this pose, he's got a good V-taper, great quads, nice flow, but his arms are underwhelming, especially against Akim Williams, who arguably had the best guns on that Olympia stage this year. Akim also has a good taper despite his high lats and powerful quad development. I'm not a fan of his midsection though. I like to see either a vacuum or at least a sunken in midsection like Rafael's here or flexed abs. Leaving your abs relaxed this way is the worst choice, but I digress. I don't think Rafael does enough in this pose to beat Akim. They pretty much even each other out, probably with Rafael having the better torso overall, but those guns of Akim tip the scale in his favor. Conditioning looks comparable. I wouldn't consider it a determining factor just yet, though I think Rafael might be a bit more polished here. Front lat spread is next, and my statement about their torsos turns out true again, with Rafael looking better than Akim. He just has the better chest and better abs. When we factor in Akim's weak high lats, this pose clearly goes to Rafael Brandao. This is usually a strong pose for Akim, who has a small waist, thick quads and a wide frame, but Rafael has all that and more, including a better chest and better lats, so the score is 1-1 at this point. The side chest pose is arguably Akim's best pose. He's got thick arms and shoulders and, in my opinion, the best side leg in the world when he's on. However, at the 2024 Mr. Olympia, I didn't like his chest all that much. It looks downsized. Just look at Rafael, whose chest is nice, round and full. This pose will be controversial no matter how I call it, but I believe that aside from the chest, Akim is better with better arms, shoulders and a stronger lower body. This pose could go either way, but I'd give Akim Williams the slightest advantage. But I'll mention that if you gave it to Rafael, you wouldn't be wrong either. Back double biceps, and the back has been the area that's held Akim Williams back throughout his career. His back was by far the worst on the Olympia stage, and besides his weaker genetics, I believe he also has an injury issue here. His back gets worse and worse. It seems like his lats are melting down, I don't know. He's known for being one of the guys that trains the heaviest, so he definitely does his deadlifts. On the other side, Rafael has a beautiful back double biceps. His back is nice and complete, his shoulders and arms look good, and his lower body is fully developed across all muscle groups. Like I mentioned before, he's very balanced through all the poses. Rafa wins, and the score becomes 2-2 at this point. In the back lat spread, we have basically the same story. In both back poses, Akim can't hope for anything other than to lose against any pro in decent condition, in my opinion. His back probably looks even worse in this pose. Rafael, on the other hand, has a decent back. Not the best in the world in this pose, but definitely better than Akim. So overall, the score becomes 3-2 for the Brazilian. The side triceps is another power pose for Akim Williams. His strongest poses are definitely the side poses. Now again, Rafael looks quite strong in this pose, just like in all the others. You can't really find a weak point here for him. However, he doesn't have the freak factor of Akim Williams, who dominates in side leg and overall upper body thickness. If you value aesthetics more, you could give this one to Rafael, and I wouldn't disagree much. But since this is my comparison, I'm going with the one I personally like more. I prefer Akim Williams in this pose, so the score is 3-3 so far. Next is abs and thighs, and as a note, the photo for Rafael is from the finals and the one for Akim is from pre-judging. They're weaker versions at the Olympia. Now, as they look here, I like Akim's quads better, and I think Akim also wins in upper body. If there's a pose where Rafael looks a bit weaker, it's this one. He lacks separation in the lower half of his abs, and his abs don't have a very aesthetically pleasing shape. We can also see that genetically he has a wider waist here. Akim doesn't have the strongest midsection either, but I believe his smaller waist, better looking arms and superior quads are enough to score another point for him in this comparison, making the score 4-3 for him. Last pose is the most muscular, and usually this was another stronger pose for Akim Williams. However, this has also become the strongest pose for Rafael Brandao. Initially, if someone asked me about this pose, I would have immediately answered Akim, but looking at them side by side, I believe Rafa is actually better. Again, he dominates in chest development big time. I really hope we don't see another case of Steinerism with Akim Williams' chest. I also like Rafael's overall fullness and superior polish in this pose against Akim. All in all, I'd give the most muscular to Rafael, making the score 4-4 in the end. Now, this was a tight comparison, finishing with a 4-4 tie. However, I do have a favorite after seeing these two side by side like this. Rafael Brandao beat Akim Williams in placings at the Olympia despite losing in the finals. When I first saw Rafael in prejudging at the Olympia, I really thought he'd make the first call out, but he faded quickly. Anyway, I still believe he is the favorite to win the Romania Muscle Fest this weekend. Rafael is the more complete bodybuilder with no real weak poses, while Akim, despite having the wow factor in some poses, is really underwhelming in others, like the back poses where he was, in my opinion, the weakest on that Olympia stage this year. What are your thoughts on this comparison overall? Who do you have as the favorite to win the Romania Muscle Fest? Or is it someone else, maybe Horse MD, who I'd put behind these two in my prediction? Let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure to like this video for the algorithm and subscribe so you don't miss any new updates. See you in the next video.